Hey, 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 Tuesday at 2. So glad you joined us here from Circle B Diecast in Concord, North Carolina. Welcome aboard from our traditional channels. And yeah, you TikTokers, you've been around here for a few moments here, getting a little head start on everything. We are so glad that everyone has joined us. However you're joining us, we are so glad. Daniel checking us out. Victor, John. Oh, Mike is in the house. And it's going to be fun. Good stuff. Yeah. So, Pocono. What'd y'all think of Pocono? Oh, Pocono was fantastic. Denny Hamlin scores Denny Hamlin gets disqualified. So Kyle Busch scores the big, and Kyle Busch gets disqualified, and Chase Elliott scores the win. Man, what a week. Yeah, I actually, with MRN, did the interview with Denny Hamlin in Victory Lane. It was a great interview. It was one of the best work, some of the best work I've ever done. And it didn't matter. So it is what it is. So yeah, a wild one at Pocono. Chase Elliott gets the victory. I am assuming that Chase Elliott Race Winning Diecast is available because no, not yet. They're working on it. Okay, they're working on it. Oh, and by the way, new diecast arriving this week, including some 2022 next gen race cars. Woo! Giddy up. Yeah, so fun stuff in the diecast world, that's for sure. So it was fun time. I love Pocono. It's my home track. Love going up there. I get back and sitting on the plane, ready to go, and someone says, what do you think of Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch getting disqualified? And I said, I don't even know anything about that. Next thing you know, I fire up my Twitter machine. I go to what everyone does on Twitter, Bob Pockrass's feed. And he goes, that's where everything is. And found out that, in fact, there was a little bit of a problem with post-race inspection. So fun, neat stuff. Great stuff, that's for sure. And so glad that we had a good weekend up there and a whole lot of fun. So great times, good times, that's for sure. And it is awesome. Speaking of awesome, okay, I just was handed this note. Okay, you can see this note. If it's a real note, it wasn't a real note, I couldn't do this with it. I couldn't flick it like that. It's a real note. It's from my main man, Jonathan. Okay, you know Jonathan. He is the one that wheels and deals around here in diecast. Batten down the hatches, folks. If I had a drum, we'd have a drum roll. 7 o'clock tonight Eastern time, huge diecast sale. Oh, mama. Get those credit cards ready. 7 o'clock tonight, Jonathan. Look at that. Look at that. It's right there on the note. Huge. Right there. You can see it on TikTok. There you go. 7 o'clock. Might be backward. There you go. On the big one. Yeah. Huge diecast sale. That's right. 7 p.m. tonight. So that is great. Going to be fun. Jonathan, when he says a huge diecast sale, you are getting ready to get some bargains on wheels is what you're getting. So he does a great job with our sales. And so Jonathan, 7 o'clock tonight. Want to make sure you check it out. All right, let's go through the notes over here. Let's see what's going on. Well, okay, so Victor. Okay, so Victor had shared that he had VIP treatment. So I'm there Saturday morning minding my own business. All of a sudden, I hear sirens. People are up against the wall getting frisked. And it was Secret Service coming in because Victor was rolling in with his VIP treatment. And so Victor was there all day Saturday. I had a chance to catch up with my main man, Victor. It was good seeing you, Victor. And glad you enjoyed your day Saturday at Pocono. It was VIP treatment. I believe in Sunday, he might have spent the day in the Hamptons, or Martha's Vineyard or someone else. But no, he was actually, I think, in the stands on Sunday. But Victor had VIP. Victor had VIP use access on Saturday, and he made the most of it. He really did. Always fun when Victor gets to the racetrack, and so I'm glad to see you, and glad to see you enjoyed it, Victor. It was cool. It really was, and it was fun. It was a good time. Let's see. Let's see. What's up? John wants to know if I'm ready for Knoxville. I'm always ready for Knoxville. That's for sure. And good to go as far as that goes. Eric, do you think after Pocono Ross is good to go, or will there still be retaliation? I think they will race each other hard, but I think it serves neither of them well to be retaliating, in my opinion. I am not Denny Hamlin. I am not Ross Chastain. I have never slid down between the frame rails of a NASCAR Cup Series car to drive. But I think there is probably in both their interest to race each other hard, but probably not get into another dust up like we had up at the Gateway that kind of got this whole thing started. So that's my opinion. I say that they could be rolling around in the middle of the infield fighting each other at Indy for all that opinion is worth. I just don't. I don't know. I don't. I tend to think it might be somewhat over. I think that they will race each other hard going forward, because but I don't know what the game plan is. I don't think that there's. I think they're going to probably show a little bit of restraint and respect for each other as well as far as wrecking each other. Could be wrong. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens with it. Certainly gives us a lot to talk about, that's for sure. And I always enjoy that fun stuff. All right, Victor was home on Sunday after all. Yeah, it was hot. Oh, my gosh. Victor, I wish if I had known, I'd have come over to your place and had a glass of iced tea and we could have watched the race because, man, it was warm. Oh, gosh. It was really warm. So, fun weekend up there. Saturday was the double. Chandler Smith picking up the win in the Truck Series and Noah Gragson picking up the victory in the Xfinity Series. So, fun weekend and love it, that's for sure. So, So where are we at on all of this? What'd y'all think about the penalty, the disqualification, the tape? What'd y'all think of that? I know a lot of debate on that. And I'll be curious what you thought of it. So if you're tuning in live here and tuning in live, type in just if you've got a thought, if you've got an opinion on it, and we'll chit-chat about that a little bit here over the next few minutes. And then we'll roll into Indianapolis. Going to be fun. Going to be a fun weekend up there at Indy as well. I can't wait to see what happens on the road course at Indianapolis. But just be curious your thoughts on what you saw with the penalty with the point. Norman says rules are rules. Norman says rules are rules. John says winners never cheat and cheaters never win, or something like that. It's fascinating in the world of NASCAR. I read somewhere along the way, I think it might have been the late great racer. He's no longer racing, but he's still with us. NASCAR Hall of Famer Jerry Cook. I think he described it as a superior reading of the rule book. And that's it. Victor thought it was fake news until it was real news. Exactly. Richie said, I finally got to see Chase win, but not the way I wanted to. Yeah, Chase, Richie, congratulations. I think you got to see Chase win and never lead a lap. That's interesting. Yeah. Glad that Chase won for you there, Richie. Exactly. That's what I kind of, here's my take on this. Okay. Eric says, do you think drivers are in the know with things like that? My hunch is that in an instance where two guys are disqualified, my guess is it's 50-50. Some drivers may want to know, some drivers may not. I don't know the answer to that. I could be wrong. That's a good question, though, Eric. I don't know. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. What drivers know? Here's my take on this thing. All right. And there was a rule bulletin that went out on Wednesday talking specifically about this. So I think NASCAR has been pretty black and white about parts and pieces on this next gen car. The black and white line is don't touch it. Okay. So I think that's kind of where they're at. And then the fact that there was a bulletin on Wednesday addressing specifically adding things to spec parts. And then tape was added. Now, granted, I think they, so consequently, I think, here's my hunch. NASCAR had gotten wind that there might be a little shenanigans and tomfoolery going around. And they get wind of a lot of things. There's a lot of chatter that goes on in that garage area. So I think they made a bulletin to clarify, to clean up some things. And just in reading the acceptance of the penalty, Joe Gibbs Racing, it sounds like that the memo didn't get around to everybody. That's my read on it. And so they got busted. And we can talk about a little piece of tape this big. Here's the problem. Would it have been different if it was a piece of tape this big? We talk about the thickness of tape. Well, would it have been different if it was thick tape? Would it have been different if it was a brick? You know, I think where NASCAR said, don't touch it, I think that's where they drew the line. And so I think the line was you touched it. Did it give them, who knows? But they touched it. And I think that's where you run into the problem. So there you go. Yeah, Norman, they're going to the R&D center. They could find more. We'll see what happens. 4 cars were taken to the R&D center. It was the 2 Gibbs cars that were penalized, and the Front Row Motorsports car, and the JTG Doherty car. So I don't know exactly. Matthew, Kyle Busch, 3-car, 2311. What have you heard? Matthew, I have heard nothing. Kyle Busch told us on Saturday his desire is to stay in the 18. Joe Gibbs told us on Saturday his desire is to have Kyle in the 18. That's what I've heard. I have no idea. I've heard every rumor just like everyone else has. No idea if there's smoke to the fire or not. I have no idea. Silly season is just crazy. And I don't know. I have no idea where Kyle Busch is going to race next year. I think he's going to probably run Millbridge with his micro some. But beyond that, I'm not really sure. Just don't know. So, yeah, exactly. Well, let's see what else we got. Yeah. Okay. There was a couple of other comments. Someone had something about Indianapolis. Yeah, you going to Indy? I am not going to Indy. That is a PRN race. So I'm not going to Indianapolis. Not going to do that. I am going to Hickory Motor Speedway Saturday night. So I'm going to Hickory, and then Norman a little earlier on coming to Michigan. Yes, I will be at Michigan. And so looking forward to that. Now I've got a summer shootout tonight, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Flow Racing. Then I'm taking a few days at the beach with my family. And then Hickory on Saturday night, summer shootout on Tuesday, North Wilkesboro, yes, I said that right, next Wednesday, and then up to Michigan, the Irish Hills. So we'll see what happens with it. Going to be a good time, that's for sure. And John, when I get back to Knoxville, we will be doing pre-shows like we did at Houston's. Yes, we will. From the Hercules Tires Entertainment Stage, it will be VFW Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. So, yes, we're doing live shows at the Knoxville Nationals. Yes, indeed. So, neat stuff. Neat stuff, that's for sure. Somebody there said favorites talking about going to Indianapolis. Obviously, you have the Chase Elliott's of the world that are really, really good on that. I don't know who I have as a favorite. Maybe AJ Allmendinger. He won this race last year, and I know that they kind of have that one circled. I can tell you 2 that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching Chris Buescher. He's awful good on road courses, and they've got some speed in that Roush Fenway Keselowski car. He qualified top 5 at Pocono. So I'm going to keep an eye on Chris Buescher as one, and I'm going to keep an eye on Michael McDowell. If we did not have Trackhouse Racing this year, we would be losing our minds about how good Front Row Motorsports is. Front Row Motorsports is significantly better than they were a year ago. Todd Gilliland having a very solid rookie season with a small team. Michael McDowell with his new crew chief, Blake Harris. I think it's car related. I think McDowell has always been a great driver, and I think it's Blake Harris related. That car is the other one that I'm going to be watching this week at Indianapolis. I just think Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell could win that race. If we're in here talking about Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell, race-winning diecast from Indianapolis, I will be 0% surprised. That's how good I think. Now, my favorites to win, maybe AJ, maybe Chase Elliott. Well, I don't know. Chase is not due to win. He's due to finish second, the way things have gone. So that's kind of my thoughts on Indianapolis, what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a great race on the road course there, and we'll see how that goes, and should be good. That's for sure. I see the problem is I got Jonathan's phone here in the middle of it. So, let me see. Yeah. So, oh, Ty Gibbs first start. Okay. Very respectable. I think he finished 18th, but I think that was before the DQs. So he finished 16th. Here's what Ty Gibbs needed to accomplish in his debut. He needed to run 160 laps, and he needed to have nobody say anything about him. Bing, bing. Mission accomplished on both fronts. Go out there and do your thing. Keep out of trouble. Don't be wrecking folks. Don't be doing things crazy. And bring the car back in one piece, put it on the trailer, and wait for your second start. And I think Ty Gibbs did a really good job of managing that. I think that was good. So that's good. There we go. Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, how about Jimmy Johnson with a P5 in Iowa? Look at that. The old boy still got it. Jimmy Johnson, fifth place finish in Iowa in the IndyCar race. Really, really cool. Jimmy Johnson, what a legend he is. Soon to be NASCAR Hall of Famer. That's not breaking news. Well, it might be breaking news. I don't know how you define breaking news. He'll be on the ballot this year. That's why I say soon to be NASCAR Hall of Famer. So I thought that was cool. Great that he got a fifth place finish up there in IndyCar racing. I think what Jimmy's doing is interesting. It's been a bigger challenge, I think, than most people thought. I think it states how tough and how good IndyCar racing is. But I think now that Jimmy Johnson's starting to get his arms around it, I think it states how good he is. And so that is good. Good stuff, that's for sure. So there you have it. Indianapolis this weekend. Man, it's going to be awesome, that's for sure. It is going to be fun. So we are so glad you joined us. Remember, all of your diecast needs are at Circle B Diecast. Remember, 7 o'clock tonight, right there on this note, Jonathan, huge, that's the word, his word, not mine, huge diecast sale. And when Jonathan says a huge, it's probably out in the warehouse just taking things and tearing things off the shelf now. So it's going to be a big sale tonight at 7 o'clock right here on all of our social media channels, and that is going to be great, that's for sure. Oh, I see this now on our TikTok down here. I wasn't seeing the chat on this. Who do you think will win first in the Cup Series, Noah or Ty Gibbs? I think Ty Gibbs, because I think Ty Gibbs is likely to be with the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. I'm not sure where Noah ends up. I mean, I think Noah might get there, but I just don't know that. I don't know where. I don't know where Ty gets with. Where I don't know where Noah gets as far as a ride goes. So yeah. So there you have it. Fun stuff. Always love chatting. That is for sure. Always good chatting. We appreciate taking the time and joining us here on our conversation every Tuesday. And we'll be back again next week. Oh, was I supposed to say something about special guests next week? I wasn't supposed to say anything about special guests next week. Well, never mind. You heard that. Never mind. Oh, crap. Now, well, okay, nothing to see here. There is no special guests next week. No special guest next week. Yeah, there might be a special guest next week. You know what we might do? We might have 2 special guests next week. And you know what you're going to need to do? You're going to need to tune in to find out what's going on here. Stay with us all week long on our social media channels. The big sale tonight at 7 o'clock. Jonathan's going to be wheeling and dealing, and it's going to be great. That is for sure. Stay with us. We'll maybe learn, or maybe we won't learn. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Shoot, maybe someone will just walk in off the street. Sometimes that happens around here, you know. So you'll have to stay tuned. We'll be back next week for a big show, that's for sure. Again, 7 o'clock tonight, the next big, huge diecast sale from my main man, Jonathan. So glad you joined us. I'm the Postman. Thanks for joining us here on Circle B Diecast for our Tuesday at 2 visit. Thanks, everyone.